Chapter 2 of Life is Strange True Colors has some of the most difficult major decisions to make. One of the biggest, do you tell Eleanor about Gabe's death or do you spare her the pain? I feel like this is a really hard decision to make because you can really see the pros and cons of both. So whether you need help making this decision initially or you just want to see what happens if you made the other choice, I am here to guide you. But I actually hope that you've already played this game yourself because there's going to be a ton of spoilers here, and really this game needs to be experienced. You have to play it yourself the first time. So come back after you play the first time, see what happens if you made a different choice. I'll still be here.
Jed must be hosting some event. I wonder why he wants lilies, though. They're traditionally for funerals.
She doesn't remember.
Okay, let's start out by looking at what happens if you choose to spare Eleanor the pain.
You know Jed. Probably doesn't know the difference between a lily and a tulip.
Don't sell him short. He's more clever than he seems.
It's obvious Alex is conflicted and worried about her, but she doesn't want to make her feel helpless again after she just started feeling better. Eleanor happily thanks Alex while working on Jed's flower order.
Thanks again for your help. Don't be a stranger.
I won't. Promise. She was finally feeling better. I didn't want to ruin that.
And these conflicted feelings show up again if you look at Eleanor after sparing her the pain.
I just didn't have the heart to tell her.
And that feeling is emphasized again in Alex's journal. Most of this entry will stay exactly the same regardless of your choice, but this section will be different. I didn't have the heart to tell her, to see the pain again, fresh on her face. Notice too that you can go into the office. Look around a little bit. There's a flyer about an Alzheimer's fundraiser.
Alzheimer's. That's awful.
And that photo of Eleanor and Riley.
I get why, but it's crazy that Riley doesn't know.
An orchid.
Everyone wants an orchid until they realize how much work it takes to keep them alive, kind of like foster kids.
And another photo of them at Riley's graduation.
They look like they have a really sweet relationship.
After you leave the flower shop and eventually make your way to the bridge, Eleanor will text Alex thanking her for the help. Thank you so much for spending that time with me today, Alex. You're an angel. It's my pleasure. I'm glad I could help. Are you feeling okay now? Yes, much. Thank you. It all seems well, but then, at the end of chapter 2, when everybody's meeting on the bridge to have another memorial for Gabe, Eleanor can't be found. Riley will look through the window of the flower shop, hoping she could find her, but then eventually just decides to go by herself. In various cutaways, Eleanor will not be seen at all. Now, depending on another choice you made earlier, there are two versions of what you could see if you spared Eleanor the pain. Riley will either be by herself or Mac will be standing nearby too. Either way, Riley is probably very confused as to why Eleanor didn't come to the earlier wake or this memorial. She likely will be having a very hard conversation with Eleanor before the next chapter of this game takes place, almost a month later. And as you'd expect, the Chapter 2 choice summary screen shows that Eleanor forgot about Gabe's death. In the very beginning of Chapter 3 at the Black Lantern, you can go up to Eleanor.
Hey, Eleanor. How are you?
Checking her emotions, it becomes obvious that Riley found out about her condition on her own.
I wish Riley never found out about my condition. She needs to focus on her future, not mine.
Riley found out? I wonder what this means for them.
And Alex can talk to Eleanor about it a little bit.
Hey, is everything okay with you and Riley?
For the most part. She's pushing herself too hard helping me. I just want her to focus on her own life now.
Let me know what I can do.
You've done so much already. I'm grateful, Alex.
Now, starting in Chapter 3, depending on a bunch of other choices that you can make in the game, a lot of different things will happen. But here's what happens no matter what if you chose to spare Eleanor. You have the option to go visit Riley during the LARP.
Mind if I duck in here a second?
You don't have to, but if you do, there'll be an opening montage of everything in the shop. The montage will include that Alzheimer's fundraiser flyer, various photos of Eleanor and Riley behind the checkout counter, a reminder list, and a post-it on a package questioning if Eleanor meant to order something twice. Because Riley found out about Eleanor's condition, she has gone full throttle into helping her out.
Hey there.
Looking around the shop, you can see a lot of different things. Directly to your left, you'll see a sign you can look at that talks about reduced hours because of a family health issue.
Did Riley put this up? The last thing Eleanor wanted was everyone fussing over her.
Separate from the montage, there's another Alzheimer's flyer you can look at.
I've got a job now. I could actually donate something.
Looking at the photos behind the checkout counter will prompt Alex to say this.
Those are new. I guess they're reminders.
And back in the office, you can look at the reminder list.
Eleanor must hate that she needs this.
You can also look at the calendar, which shows that Riley is bringing the entire community together.
So much to take care of. They must be exhausted.
Now, this calendar will actually have 2 different possibilities of what's on it, depending on another choice you make. That's for another video. Looking at Riley's emotions show that she's pretty sad.
Nana's such a good person. She doesn't deserve any of this.
And neither does Riley.
When you talk to Riley, your initial conversation will talk about the flash drive, but then she'll say it's been a good distraction because of what's going on.
Honestly, it's a nice distraction for me right now.
You kind of pretend that you don't really know what's happened, and then Riley tells you some more.
Is everything okay?
I found out Nana has been sick. She has Alzheimer's.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, let's talk about something else.
And when you ask Riley about school, she tells you she's not going.
Are you still going to school?
Oh, no. I turned them down. Nana told me not to, but she's going to need help.
You can respond in 2 different ways. That must have been a hard decision.
That must have been a hard decision.
No, I knew what I had to do. What's hard is dealing with the disappointment.
Or you made the right choice.
You made the right choice. Never know how long you'll have with someone.
Alex.
You can also talk to Riley about Mac, and depending on some other choices that you make, this response will be different. The Chapter 3 choice summary shows that Riley found out about Eleanor's dementia. Now, at the Spring Festival, Eleanor will be there in full force. It is hilarious if you listen to her conversation. This does not change whether you spared her or told her the truth, but her emotions will.
God, I just hope Riley is doing all right.
Oh no. What happened to Riley?
Alex can then look at Eleanor and notice this.
Eleanor's really worried about Riley. I wonder what's wrong.
And if you speak to Eleanor after checking her emotions, a new dialogue option, Where's Riley, will be available.
Hey, so where's Riley? I haven't seen her around.
Because you spared Eleanor, she'll tell you this.
She's not really in the festive spirit. She was supposed to leave town tonight. If it wasn't for, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You were so helpful to me that day at the shop. If you see Riley, maybe you could help her too.
Sure. I'll try my best.
Now, there might be a game error here because if you told Eleanor, you'll be able to check her emotions again at this point and reveal some more information. It looks like you're able to check her emotions, but when you try, nothing happens. Does this happen to you too? I'm on an Xbox. Let me know if you have that same issue. Either way, you can look at Eleanor again for this comment.
It's so sweet how much she cares about Riley. If only all of us had someone like that in our lives.
Now, if you choose to visit Riley at the bus stop, you'll notice that she's just standing there alone. You can look at her and think,
Oh man, Riley looks heartbroken.
and then check her emotions.
We'll just have to wait. That's all.
Maybe Riley could use some company right now.
Which is a good cue to be a good friend and speak to her.
Hey, Riley.
Oh, hey. What are you doing here?
And in this variation, you'll have 2 dialogue options here. Escaping the party,
Just taking a walk. I needed a breather from all that socializing.
I get that.
or looking for you.
Just wanted to say hi. I couldn't find you at the party.
Yeah. Partying's not really in the cards.
The rest of the conversation will always continue like this.
I was supposed to leave on the bus tonight.
I know.
So many hopes and dreams, all poured into one fucking bus ride. But it's okay. Nana needs me now. She was there for me before, and now it's my turn.
Depending on some earlier choices, Riley might add in some comments about Mac right here. Check out this video for more details on that. Alex will end the conversation by telling Riley that Eleanor's lucky to have her.
Eleanor is so lucky to have you.
Thanks, Alex.
Hang in there, okay?
Now you hang in there for a sec too, because eventually Riley will actually respond to Alex as she walks away.
I will. You're awesome for coming out here.
And if you look at Riley again after your conversation, Alex will think this.
I hope she can bounce back soon.
Now don't leave this area yet, because just behind the flower shop is a memory, and this memory will change depending on if you spared Eleanor or told her the truth. If you look at the sticker before you talk to Riley, Alex will have this comment.
That's the school Riley was applying to before, well,
And if you look at the sticker for the first time after you talk to Riley, Alex will make this comment.
but Riley's staying in Haven. Why would Eleanor put this up?
And the memory itself is pretty sad.
Nana, no, hey, don't put that sticker up.
And why not? Aren't I allowed to be proud of...
Nana, I'm not going, remember? I'm staying here. With you.
Right. Yes, of course. Riley, I'm sorry.
Nothing to be sorry about. We'll scrape it off tomorrow.
And Alex writes about this memory in her journal. Riley can feel their roles reversing, elevating her to caretaker, recasting Eleanor as the one who needs care. It's a little heartbreaking, but it's not as horrible a feeling as you might think. For Riley's whole life, Eleanor has protected her, gave her what she needed to grow, and provided a place to retreat when things got scary. Returning that gift, even if it means changing her trajectory, means a lot to Riley. But there's a difference. The space Eleanor created for Riley was designed to help her grow, and Riley can't shake the notion that she's building a space for Eleanor to wind down. I've spent a lot of time wishing I had just a little more time to spend with Gabe, just so I could say goodbye. But I guess having that time hurts just as much as missing out on it. After you hear the memory, if you didn't find Riley at the bus stop yet, you can look at the sticker again and Alex will comment.
This must be so hard on Riley. I wonder where she's hiding tonight.
If you already found her, she'll think this instead.
They've got each other. For now, that'll have to be enough.
Going back to the main stage area, Eleanor will still be there. And as long as you didn't already exhaust the conversation earlier, you'll always be able to speak to her again. As you exit the conversation, Alex will reassure Eleanor a little bit.
Oh, I talked to Riley earlier. I think she's doing okay, in case you were worried.
I so appreciate that, Alex. Thank you.
But more importantly, during the spicy performance of Blister in the Sun, Eleanor will definitely be seen dancing.
When I'm a walking, I strut my stuff, and I'm so strung out. I'm high as a kite, and I just might stop to check you out. Let me know.
The Chapter 4 choice summary screen will show that either Riley had already decided not to go to school, or Alex didn't find Riley at the bus stop if you, didn't visit her. And at the town council meeting, no matter what, Eleanor will not support Alex. It's not that she doesn't care about Alex or support her in general. She just thinks Alex's mind is playing tricks on her, similar to how her own brain is playing tricks on her. Now, quick note, if Ducky also didn't believe Alex, Eleanor will lead in like this.
Ducky, that's enough. Don't let him make you feel bad, sweetheart. No one here thinks you're a bad person.
But if Ducky did believe Alex, Eleanor will lead in like this.
Ducky, you're being unhelpful. Alex, sweetheart,
And then either way, she'll continue the same.
you know our mind can play tricks on us. None of it is your fault. It's so hard to admit you need help. But struggling alone... No. You shouldn't have to go through that. We're all worried about you. Let us help you.
And because Eleanor didn't support Alex, it's now a little harder for Ryan to believe Alex too. Not impossible, but harder. Check out this video for more details on that. Later in Alex's apartment, you can walk over to the gnome Eleanor gifted her earlier, and sadly, Alex will think this.
Nothing like being called delusional by someone you trusted. That one really hurt.
And in Gabe's prediction, what happens with Riley and Mac will be different. There are 3 possibilities, and by sparing Eleanor, all 3 are possible. However, Eleanor is not seen at the Black Lantern, no matter what, if you spared her the pain. In the Seek Adventure ending, Eleanor will definitely not meet you at the bus stop. Riley will be there, but Mac might be there too. But don't worry, Eleanor still cares about Alex. You'll see a photo of her and Riley with the gnome in Alex's guitar case. And the Chapter 5 choice summary will definitely say that Eleanor offered to get Alex help. Okay, so what happens if you tell Eleanor about Gabe? This one gets a little bit more complicated because there's a whole other major choice involved.
I wonder why he wants lilies, though. They're traditionally for funerals.
She doesn't remember.
First, right away, Alex will just tell Eleanor. Nicely, but she just tells her.
They were for Gabe's wake.
Gabe's wake? Gabe's wake? I missed it. Alex, I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's
Excuse me.
Eleanor locks herself into the office, so you can't actually walk in or look around right now.
okay. That sucked. But at least I told her the truth.
You can tune into Eleanor's emotion through the door, though.
That poor young man. How did I forget?
I'm so sorry, Eleanor.
And looking at the office door will reveal more of Alex's thoughts.
She's really hurting, but I didn't want to lie to her.
And of course, Alex's journal will expand more on her internal struggle. Telling her was agony. Seeing it all over again like it just happened? Was the truth worth the price? I don't know. And because you can't go into the office now, there's nothing else in the scene that's different, so you can head outside. Once again, Eleanor will text Alex, but this time instead of thanking her for the help, she kind of explains how she was feeling. Alex, I'm so sorry about before. I really did appreciate your help. It just hit me hard. Don't apologize. It's been hard for all of us. But the good news is Eleanor remembers about Gabe, and therefore she can go to the memorial. So she does meet Riley, they walk together, and she can mourn Gabe. In those same cutaways, Eleanor can be seen next to Riley this time. As before, depending on another choice you made earlier, Riley will either be with Eleanor only, or Mac could join them, and all 3 are there to mourn Gabe. Either way, because Eleanor was there, Riley didn't have a reason to question it. Life likely went on as it did before without a big conversation about Eleanor's health. And this time, the Chapter 2 choice summary screen shows that Alex reminded Eleanor about what happened. In Chapter 3, looking at Eleanor's emotions show that Riley hasn't figured this out yet, and Eleanor doesn't want her to.
If I can get help on my own,
Riley never needs to know about my condition. I won't have to be a burden.
It breaks my heart that she's coping with this alone.
You could talk to her, but it's just more surface conversation.
Hey, Eleanor. How are you?
Nothing more is added in about Riley or the situation this time. Then during the LARP, if you choose to go into the flower shop, there will still be a montage, but it will be different this time. It will show a different note than before about reduced hours. The gnome, pictures of graduation, and a post-it on a package again. Although those last two are the same if you spared Eleanor, they have a slightly different meaning this time. Directly to your left, you'll see the same sign about reduced hours, but this time it's because Riley's leaving and they need more staff.
Man, small towns. Everyone's been going out of their way to congratulate Riley these past couple of weeks.
And to the right of the door, you can now look at a hiring ad.
Must be hard to find new employees in a small town. I hope it works out.
And in this variation, you can actually look at the return order with the post-it and say,
Sooner or later, Riley's gonna figure out Eleanor's secret.
but you can't look at that Alzheimer's flyer or the grad photos at all. Back in the office, well, you can kind of see the reminder list and some other things still displayed on the counter. You can't actually look at them. So it's kind of assumed that it's a reminder list for something else, I guess. But what you will be able to look at is a check from Eleanor for a new computer.
This is just so nice.
And you'll also be able to see Riley's bus ticket.
God, I took that bus here barely a month ago. Feels like it's been years.
But no calendar because there's nothing that needs major scheduling. So Eleanor's going to handle it all by herself. When you're ready, you could speak to Riley and talk about that flash drive. And this time, instead of saying it's a good distraction, she'll talk about how exciting it is to work on it. It's kind of like what she's going to school for.
Actually, it's kind of fun. I didn't realize you were so good with computers. Is that what you're going to school for? Civil engineering. Or maybe robotics? It's a lot to figure out. Kind of crazy. Anyway, let's talk about something else.
This time, instead of school, you can ask Riley about Eleanor, and you talk about how Eleanor's going to handle Riley being gone.
I saw Eleanor at the Black Lantern this morning.
She probably needed a break from me. I've been nagging her all morning about getting one of those, medical alert buttons.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna be 4 hours away, and she's never lived alone before.
You can also talk about Mac, but that conversation is different depending on some other choices that you make. Looking at Riley's emotions, you can tell that she's worried about Eleanor, but not because of her condition.
It's gonna be fine. I can come home on the weekends. Nana won't even miss me.
I'm not sure Riley even believes that.
In rounding off Chapter 3, if you look at that choice summary screen, it shows that Riley doesn't know about Eleanor's condition. In Chapter 4 at the Spring Festival, after you check Eleanor's emotions so you can pick the Where's Riley option,
Hey, so where's Riley? I haven't seen her around.
Eleanor is a bit cryptic with her response.
She's got a lot going on right now. I think she'd rather keep to herself tonight.
Okay.
That was odd. I wonder if there's something she's not telling me.
Looking at her again now implies there's more to the story.
She's not telling me the whole truth. I wonder if reading her again would help.
Remember, if you spared Eleanor, it looked like you could check her emotions again, but it doesn't work. If you told Eleanor in Chapter 2, you definitely can check those again.
Poor Riley, waiting for a bus all alone. But thank God she never found out about my condition.
Riley went to the bus stop alone. I wonder why.
You don't have to check her emotions again, but if you do, Riley will make an additional comment when you go see her at the bus stop. And then looking at Eleanor again after checking her emotions for the second time, Alex will say,
With Riley leaving tonight, no wonder Eleanor is so sad.
Now don't forget before you go visit Riley to look at the back of the flower shop and see that sticker memory. Because you told Eleanor Riley doesn't find out about her condition, she's still going to school, and there's a completely different memory here. If you look at the sticker before talking to Riley and before reading the memory, Alex will think,
Hey, that's right. I should congratulate Riley next time I see her.
But if you look at the sticker after you talk to Riley, but before reading the memory, she'll say this.
I guess proud grandparent and legal guardian didn't fit on the sticker.
Then the memory is always the same regardless of what happens in a few minutes.
I've never missed a spring festival before. Like, ever.
Oh, honey, you'll catch the first few hours, and there will be other spring festivals.
Actually, Nana, I might just wait at the bus stop. Avoid the parade of goodbyes.
I'll cover for you.
Alex's journal entry will also always be the same, no matter what your choice is in a few minutes. I feel like a little comment Alex makes should be different, but I haven't actually seen that to be the case. Leaving home hurts. It's been so long since I've had a home to leave that I guess I forgot that. You can focus on the future, the hope and the excitement of taking the next big step, the relief of starting fresh, but the pain doesn't go away. For Riley, I think home is Eleanor more than it is Haven Springs. The town is just wood and concrete and cobblestones, but Eleanor? Riley wouldn't be Riley without her. I think I understand that a little, or I'm starting to. What I love about Haven Springs, what makes me feel like maybe I fit in here, is the people who've made space for me. When I think about leaving them behind, even if I knew something better was waiting for me, it feels like leaving behind a part of myself. And if you look at the memory again after tuning into it, but before talking to Riley, Alex will always think this.
Riley's bus leaves tonight. Maybe she's still at the bus stop.
Speaking of that bus stop, if you go to check on Riley there, you'll see that she has a suitcase with her. She's going to school right now and skipping the spring festival. And you can look at her and think about it.
There she is. Looks like she's packed and ready.
And maybe check out her emotions while you're at it.
Here I am, just waiting at the bus stop, about to change my entire life.
I've been there.
And talking to Riley shows her anxious excitement.
Hey, Riley.
Oh, hi, Alex. What are you doing out here?
Just out for a walk. You?
And this is what Riley will say if you checked Eleanor's emotions again after talking to her the first time about Riley.
Can't tell that woman anything.
Either way, she'll always say this.
My bus comes tonight, and I just couldn't bear saying goodbye to everyone.
I get that.
I'm really gonna miss this town. I'll miss my Nana most of all, of course.
Just like with Spare Eleanor, it is possible for Riley to add in a different comment about Mac here. There's too much that goes into that, so check out that video if you want more.
I hope Nana's okay. She's in good health, but sometimes I wonder if I should really be leaving her here alone.
Eleanor is keeping her condition a secret, but I feel like Riley would want to know. What should I do?
And now you have another major decision. You have the opportunity to tell Riley here or keep Eleanor's confidence. If you choose to keep Eleanor's confidence, this will happen.
Eleanor is so proud of you. All she wants is for you to follow your dreams.
You're right, of course.
Good luck with everything. We're rooting for you.
Thanks, Alex. Have a great time at the festival.
Riley will go to school, but before you walk away, you can look at her again for this.
Stay safe, Riley. I hope everything works out.
Let's continue down this path and see all the consequences of keeping Eleanor's confidence. Back to the sticker. If you already talked to Riley and also kept Eleanor's confidence, if you look at the sticker again after tuning into the memory, Alex will think this.
So long, Rye. We'll take good care of Eleanor while you're away.
And when you go back to the main stage area, Eleanor will be there just like if you spared her. So that means if you speak to her again, Alex will let her know that she talked to Riley and she's doing okay. It also means Eleanor will be doing her thing at the concert. Based on that conversation she was having with the glasses guy, a girl's not afraid to party. And the Chapter 4 choice summary screen will show that Riley went away to college if you visited her and then chose to keep Eleanor's confidence. However, if you told Eleanor about Gabe in Chapter 2, you don't actually have to visit Riley to get all of these next results. So it also might say that Alex didn't find Riley at the bus stop. Now, in Chapter 5, Eleanor will definitely support Alex at the town council meeting. Because Alex never betrayed her trust, she has no reason to doubt her. If Ducky also supported Alex, Eleanor will lead in the conversation like this.
I agree with Ducky. I've always found Alex to be a very trustworthy person.
If Ducky didn't support Alex, Eleanor will lead in like this.
I've always found Alex to be a very trustworthy person.
Either way, this part is always the same.
She wouldn't make these accusations lightly. Something must have happened.
Miss Lath, there's no actual evidence of anything.
Maybe not, but that's what I think.
And by keeping Eleanor's confidence, it will also be a little easier for Ryan to believe Alex too. Again, check out this video for those details. Fast forward to Alex's apartment. If you look at the gnome that Eleanor gifted Alex, she'll think this.
Feels like I've been through so much with Eleanor. It meant the world that she believed me.
And in Gabe's prediction, Riley will definitely be sitting at the booth with a random guy. We don't know who he is. And Mac won't be there at all. And Eleanor is seen at the Black Lantern, looking out the window, seeming like she's alone. Oof. And if you choose the Seek Adventure ending, Eleanor will be there to see you off at the bus stop. Riley or Mac won't be there at all. And this time in Alex's guitar case, there'll be a photo of her and Riley. It looks like she visited her at school. And the Chapter 5 choice summary will show that Eleanor sided with Alex during the vote. That's it for keeping Eleanor's confidence. If you instead choose to tell Riley, here's what will happen.
Riley, I think there's something you should know. It's kind of a long story, but I found out that Eleanor has Alzheimer's. I'm sorry. I know it's a lot to take in.
God. I had my suspicions, but I need to go home and talk to Nana about this. Thank you so much, Alex. I'm sure it wasn't easy to tell me this.
Sure. Good luck.
Riley will end up disappearing from the bus stop. She will not go to school, and she will go talk to Eleanor. Of course, we're going to go right back to that sticker and take a look at it now. If you already tuned into the memory and also told Riley about Eleanor, if you look at the sticker again, Alex will think this.
They've got each other. For now, that'll have to be enough.
And this time, if you go back to the main stage area, Eleanor is not there. They are most certainly having a heart-to-heart. That means that you can't tell her that you talked to Riley, but I'm guessing she figured it out. And also that she won't be dancing.
When I'm walking, I strut my stuff, and I'm so strung out.
And those moves are missed.
Just a night, stop to check you out.
The Chapter 4 summary will say that Alex revealed Eleanor's illness and Riley stayed. This also means, just like with Spare Eleanor,
Alex,
she definitely will not support you at the town council meeting.
you know our mind can play tricks on us.
It's not about her not supporting her. It's just that she doesn't know if Alex's mind is playing tricks on her or not. Her lead-ins after Ducky and her full response are exactly the same as if you spared her. And because she didn't support you, it will once again be harder for Ryan to believe Alex. And Alex will make the same comment after looking at the gnome in her apartment later that she did if you spared Eleanor.
Nothing like being called delusional by by someone you trusted.
In Gabe's prediction, just like if you kept Eleanor's confidence, Riley will definitely be there with some random guy and Mac will definitely not be there. Just like if you spared Eleanor, though, Eleanor will not be seen at the Black Lantern at all. If you choose the Seek Adventure ending, neither Eleanor, Mac, or Riley will be there to meet you. But again, don't worry, a photo of Eleanor, Riley, and the gnome will be there in Alex's guitar case, showing all is well. And as expected, the Chapter 5 choice summary will show that Eleanor offered to get Alex help, just like if you spared Eleanor. Okay, there you have it. There are so many differences here. So what do you think is best for Eleanor, for Riley, for Mac, and for Alex? Let me know what you think.